Good morning to you. My name is Catherine Mwangi. This is Books and Blogs on Life and Style on KTN, and I'm glad that you have made some time to tune in today because you're about to be inspired by this incredible, dynamic woman all the way from Dubai, but of course she's Kenyan by birth. She'll tell us a bit more about her. Fauza, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your books.
Thank you.
And blog as well.
Yes.
And a myriad of many things you've done with your life. I don't even know where to start, but let's start with the book. Then we go to all the awards and accolades and commendations that you have.
Okay.
Because people must know that you are it.
Thank you.
So your book, Rising from the Dust.
Yes.
This is you on the cover, of course.
That's
me.
I
see the eyes. That's the same.
They look very sad, though,
yes,
isn't it?
I see that.
Because this was
Pain
when...
and sadness.
Yes. I was in the journey of discovering myself.
Right.
And when you are in the process of discovering yourself, you become very vulnerable. And being vulnerable, it means you become very uncomfortable. And when you become uncomfortable, you become very sad. But for us to get through to courage, we need to go through vulnerability.
Yes. So what's your dust experience like?
My dust experience is I lost my own identity growing up. Somewhere along the journey, I didn't know who I was. However, I knew that there was God, and I know what God says about who I am. Because as He is, so we are.
Yes.
But if you're in an environment where it's not very supportive, very encouraging, you lose that. And I've been there. I've been in a place where I was like, who am I? Why am I here?
Yes.
What's God
purpose?
saying? Yes.
Yeah.
What's God saying about my birth, you know, my existence? And yeah, I was trying to reconcile the reason of my existing.
Yeah. And how long did that take? How many years?
Honestly, I tell people I wasted my teenagers' time. I didn't enjoy that. I don't even remember when I turned 18.
Okay.
And when I turned 21, my friends actually, Bernice and Steve, they surprised me with my birthday because they thought being 21 was very cool.
A big deal, yeah.
But I was in the jungle. I was searching for myself.
So what was that like? Like when you say it was you're in a jungle, it was tough, you wasted your years. What were you doing that you were not proud of, or you think that you should have done better or known better?
The thing is, I think we normally get the, what is it called? Our environment, our guardians, our parents have a lot of impact in our upbringing.
And influence as
and
well.
influences a lot, big time.
Yes.
And if you growing up in an environment where you are actually there by mistake, you know, you have been born out of wedlock and you caused shame to the family. And so I kind of got into a place where I was like, why did I cause division?
So you were blaming yourself?
I became a victim. I had a lot of questions, which until now, in my 30s, I still don't have answers for. But I'm okay with it.
Yes.
Because I know, now I know who I am.
Yes.
Because I've gone through that process of self-love and self-acceptance. And yeah, it's a journey.
And you had to go through it for you to be able to write a book.
Absolutely.
To help others who may be experiencing the same situation.
That is my why.
Yes, that's your why.
That is exactly what made me become vulnerable and talk about it. And, you know, we're talking about culture. You know, we're talking about, sometimes there are things, you know, we are not supposed to speak up. As a woman, as a girl child, there are things that, you know, we are meant to be at the backside, you know, and if you try to stand up and speak up, then you become the outcast.
Yes. Okay. So you rose up out of that, okay? You got your self-identity intact. Of course, it's easier said than done because it took many years.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
And a very uncomfortable one. It takes time before you get there. But what I've learned is for us to go through this, we need to go through everything that life happens to us. And I'm not saying my story is such a scary one. I've read books, Louise Hay, Joyce Meyer. It's actually because of Louise Hay and Joyce Meyer that I had the confidence to open up and start cleaning my own cabinets.
Yes, yes.
And accepting that, okay, this has happened, but what am I doing? Am I going to be living, you know, with the past, the rejections of families and, you know, the people who they need to be there, you know. And sometimes you don't know why these things happen. But I believe now that everything that happens to us has a reason. And no matter what, wherever you are in life, God is right there with you. And he knows, he sees from within. He's there with you, and, you know, it's a process.
So the people that should read Rising from the Dust,
yes,
what kind of people?
This book I've dedicated to everybody. And I mean everyone who has crawled through the dust. We all have stories. There is a book in everyone, but no one has the courage to speak up. Sometimes. Of course, sometimes we have the challenges of we don't know how to do it. You know, we don't have the funds to do it. I've been very lucky, actually, because I had people who have supported my dream. You know, when I gave birth to Rising from the Dust in 2016, I felt like, you know, when I was pregnant for my son, you know, you're carrying that pregnancy for 9 months. I was pregnant for this baby for 3 years. And the people around you, I've been very blessed to have people who they said to me, it's okay. And it's fine to open those cabinets and let's clean them together. It was very emotional.
What kind of testimonials have you received from people who've read this book?
I've copied some on my website, actually. And I've had a lady saying to me, thank you for sharing your story, because it's after I read your story, I've started writing my own memoir. And then I've had a lady who said to me, after reading your book, you've encouraged me to love myself a little bit more. Because you know what, Catherine, sometimes we do punish ourselves unconsciously. And it's because we are battling all these things of life. You know, we're trying to, you know, to reconcile with ourselves. In maybe you've lost a job, maybe, you know, you've lost a child,
or
you know,
a
partner, you are in divorce, you know. You have a lot of things going on, and in the long run, you lose you. You know, and if you lose you, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup. You need to be filled yourself. It's interesting because I was watching Iyala yesterday, and she said, with Oprah, and they were talking about how it's important to take care of yourself first. It may sound selfish, but if you cannot take care of yourself first, how are you gonna give? You can't.
That's true. That's true.
So it's been interesting, and for me, the reason why I went through this journey is because I wanted to remind someone, I don't know, somewhere in the world.
Remind them. Look
wherever.
At the camera. Look at the camera. They're there watching you.
Someone that it doesn't matter what grade you've gotten. I was telling Margaret, I was a D student.
D.
A D. A D for Dubai.
For darkness.
For darkness, yes. And she was very surprised. And yes, I was very devastated. My life was shattered because, you know, then you get the stereotypes saying, you're a loser.
Yeah, they call you those names, yes.
You get all these labels.
Yes.
And how do we deal with these labels?
It's hard work.
It's very painful.
Yeah.
It can be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, but grace sees you through.
God's grace is sufficient.
I liked what you said when you're coming in. You said, I'm here by the grace of God.
I'm here by the grace of God.
Yes.
I know someone else. I know my friend Bernice, when she's going to watch this, and her mom, they've been with me through all this.
Yes.
I'm sure they will be very surprised to see me here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. And you see, look, it wasn't in vain because you've been celebrated on so many platforms globally, and I will not be the one to say that story. I want you to be the one to say it so that people can say, same person who said was a D student is now, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened.
Yes.
So tell us about those commendations. Be proud of them, you have to say them.
I'm very proud, Catherine, because I have prayed so hard. I've prayed so hard. And I've seen God come through. You know, when the people who should hold your hands, they're the ones who are labeling you. That is very hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is, who do you label yourself? Because everyone can tell you anything, but who are you?
Who do you say you are?
Who do you say you are? You.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Me, Fauza.
Yes.
Who do I call myself? And the journey has been very interesting because my story was featured in Rising from the Dust by my sister-in-law. She's going to be very proud.
Yes.
And it's after my story was featured in Fierce and Fabulous, the feminine force of success, that another world started to open up.
Yes.
And I remember our first book signing was in Sydney.
Australia?
Yes, in 2015. Yes, in 2015. And all the 16 women I have never met, I only knew my sister, and we were all in the room, right? And we started sharing, how did you deal with that, you know? Because everyone has a story, you know, but it's how we deal with it.
Yeah.
But again, also it's through sharing our stories that we learn from others and that we get courage to deal with our own things too. And I remember after I spoke, people were in tears and I didn't know why. And I remember there was this gentleman, he sent me a very long email. His name is Brian. He said to me, "You touched a place in my heart where no one has ever reached.
Yes.
Watching you speak very openly, and you are so vulnerable, but you have put yourself together. That is a lot of courage to do it." Because he said to me, I'm already in my 50s, late 50s, but I still can't speak up. And there you are.
Young as you are, and you have found the courage to share your story and in turn deliver others as well.
Yes.
It's powerful.
I think stories need to be told.
Yes.
We need to share them.
Yes.
Of course, when we share them, there are some things which other people will feel uncomfortable when you talk about them. But I think it's also very important that we share these things because that's how we help each other.
It's true.
And that was my why.
Yeah. Your why.
That
Which
was
is still
my
your why even
that
now.
That is still my why.
Yeah.
Until today.
Tell me about your website, BRF.
So BRF is Beltz Inspirations by Fauza. And I started my website, actually I started as a blog. 5 years ago, let's say 6 years ago, I was a full-time mommy. I was studying, trying to develop myself, but I committed myself because growing up without my mom, you know, my parents, and I grew up in different homes, my prayer has always been, when God will bless me, that I could be able to take care of my own child, I would really love to do that because I didn't have motherly love. And now having my own son, Jasper, I'm learning how to laugh through him. It's crazy.
Yeah. You were one of the artists for Story Moja Festival 10th anniversary.
That was last year.
Here in Kenya.
Amazing.
Yes. How was that experience like?
That was like, I came to Kenya in February. I was trying to put a system together for my book. At that time, I had no license for the book in Kenya, in Africa. I didn't even know who to go to approach. I had no idea that I needed a lawyer to get approvals, Kenya National Library, you know, all the, there is a lot of work.
There's a process,
yes.
eh?
So I was here for about 3 weeks, actually, trying to put a system for the book. And then, you know, I was just in Google, you know, sometimes you Google and then things just come up. When I was looking for, you know, things for authors in Africa. And then Story Moja came up. And then I realized they were going to have the Story Moja 10th anniversary in October. I said, okay, it's not a coincidence. I don't call it a coincidence, actually. I call it a blessing.
Yes.
Because sometimes, you know, God puts you in a place just right there when you need it. And he uses people. And I was like, wow, okay. So I picked my phone and I called them. And then, no, I sent email at first, but I didn't get a reply. And then I said, okay, maybe there should be a contact somewhere. So I picked my phone and I called. And then I got a lady called Moniti. And then I said, Moniti, I'm an author. I'm still busy trying to put my book in the system in Kenya. But I would really be interested to be in the Story Moja, you know, coming up. And she said, okay, are you in Kenya? I said, yes, I'm here for a couple of weeks, but I will be going back to Dubai. And then she said, okay, we are in Lower Kabete. Come to our offices. Do you have copies of your book? I said, I do have. And then she said to me, okay, bring a few copies, and then we will have to read the book and to see if it's going to fit in with our program.
Yes.
I said, okay, why not? At least I asked, because sometimes you need to ask.
To ask, yes.
If you don't ask, people, they don't going to know if you need help.
Yes.
So I gave her the book. She was very happy. She read it, and then she called me back. I was in Dubai by that time. I left my number. And she said, wow, this is a very interesting story. We would love to have you. That's like how it happened, yeah.
Wow.
And then I came here for 5 days, and it was a very interesting
experience.
Yes. I met a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens when, you know, people of the same tribe
gathered in one room, in one event.
Trying to empower, to encourage, and, you know, learning from one another, because there were people from Uganda, people from US, there were people from Rwanda, there were people from everywhere. People flew in for that.
So you really networked with different authors.
Time.
And wow. Yeah. Okay. What are your dreams for Jasper?
My dream for Jasper, I want my son to fly free, to soar like an eagle. There is no boundaries in life. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how you've been raised. It doesn't matter what everyone around you has said. You have the power. You are in charge. And what I'm teaching Jasper, I've told him my story. I do bring him to Kenya. He was in Kenya twice last year, because I want him to know where mommy comes from.
Yes, yes.
Because all this, it's by God's grace. And the way God can really sometimes pick you up. I think he chooses people. Really, it's like, you come here, I'm going to put you here.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it sometimes.
Yeah.
And my prayer for my son is, the sky is not the limit for Jasper.
I hear you.
I encourage him, I talk to him. Being a mixed child, my husband is Dutch. So, of course, sometimes he has kids who tell him, how come your skin color is like this? How come your hair texture is like this? And he's very proud. He says to people, because my mom, she's a Kenyan.
Wow.
Yes, my mom, you know. Yeah. But we need to start teaching our kids to love themselves from at a very young age.
Yes.
Because when we give them a lot of values, you know, and self-love, they're not going to grow in fear.
It's true.
Because they know who they are and they know what God they are. They say they are about them.
You're right.
So this is my prayer for Jasper.
Good one.
Of course, life is not a rosy, Catherine. Nobody says life will be always easy. But what I've learned also for myself is, what am I doing? And every time, I've given up so many times when I was in this process of writing. But you know, it's also having that, you know, that self-love and that courage that all things works together for good.
Good. Yeah. And they have for you.
They have.
And they continue to work together for good. Yeah. What role did your husband play in helping you up?
My husband, he's my inspiration number one.
I like that.
I have to say, and I have to be honest, my relationship with Dove brought a lot of issues in my family. You know, I became an outcast. I got a lot of rejection. I was actually called a prostitute, you know, and he has held me when I was in depression. And you have always reminded me that it is okay. And you're not going to have answers for everything, but God has answers for you. And that you need to believe in yourself. So he's my inspiration. Really, sometimes I say, if maybe he was a different kind of a person, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be where I am. But he has really held me.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what I say to my friends sometimes and to people when I speak to women, you know, women conferences, women gatherings. It's amazing what someone can do when they are actually loved. Really, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's not all about you anymore. It's about, it's inclusive.
Yes.
It's about us.
Yes.
And yeah, he's played a big role
in your life.
And I really thank God for his life.
I'm glad to hear that. Where can people find Rising from the Dust? Could you tell them on your camera?
Rising from the Dust, it's everywhere. It's on my website, www.fauzabeltz.com. It's on Amazon.com. It's in Barnes & Noble. It's in Booktopia. It's on Kindle. It's on App Store. It's in...
Anywhere locally?
Anywhere locally.
A bookstore like locally here?
Prestige.
Okay.
And Savanis.
Okay.
And then also I have my distributor. His name is Edwin. He is the one who has everything.
Could you give them his contact? Or would you rather they contact you through the website?
I think it's better in my Facebook page. We have a Facebook page for Rising from the Dust. So if you go there, all the contacts are there. We even do deliveries, actually.
Awesome. Yeah.
You just call us. We'll make sure the book is in your hands.
So what's your Facebook page?
My Facebook is Fauza Beltz.
Spell for them Beltz.
Beltz.
Perfect. Okay.
And then that's for my author, my fan page for author page. And then for the book, it's as the title, Rising from the Dust.
Yeah. I am glad to have had this conversation with you
Thank
today.
you, Catherine.
Thank you so much. You still have a lot to give. You have a lot to give. But maybe the next time you're in Kenya, we will take you to the next level.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fauza Beltz, Rising from the Dust, is a book you need to get. Of course, you have gotten from this interview that there's a lot that she went through, which I believe is in the book.
Yes.
That you could learn a thing or two from to help you rise from the dust you may currently be in. So I encourage you to find this book. Go to our Facebook page, Fauza Beltz. Pick a copy of this book. I want to maybe buy 3 copies for someone who maybe cannot afford it. How much is it? We didn't even ask that.
It's going for 1,200.
Okay.
However, if you're going to get them for someone, I'm going to give you a discount, sweetie.
Oh, thank you.
How good is that? Chop.
There you go. So let's take that maybe to 5 people because there's a discount.
5 people. Okay. We're going to give 5.
Yes.
I'm actually happy to give 5 books.
Awesome. So 5 plus 5, 10.
10. I think that's fair enough, isn't it?
It's more than fair.
Yes.
So 10 people who think they need this book to help lift them from a situation they may be going through, get in touch through our Facebook page. Hashtag KTN Life and Style on Twitter. Let us know why you need Fauza's book, Rising from the Dust. She's getting 5 for free. I'm getting 5 at a discount, still for free. So 10 people, the first 10 people to say, please give me this book, because we'll end up getting it. We take a quick break. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back. Life and Style is not over yet. Brian is coming up next with Beyond the Sport.
That was a turnaround for the team. We could see that we could do this. We can beat the giants. Yeah. And then as the years went on, you know, the team became stronger and stronger.